What's going on, everybody? It's Chris from Profoto, and today we're going to be diving into some one light portraits, and we're going to be doing it with hard light. Mostly just because I want to show you that there are ways that you can make great images with just one light, with minimal gear, honestly. I think sometimes people get really caught up in the idea of needing tons and tons of things in order to make compelling images, and that's just not the case. So whether you're just starting out and you're just getting your first flash, or you have a lot of stuff, this could be really, really fun. We're going to explore 3 different setups. We're going to do something that's a little more fun and poppy. I'm sure you saw that with the live card, and kind of explain the setup with that. And then we're going to try more of a side-lit profile shot.
Audio is trash.
Audio is trash? Is it?
It's like crazy.
It looks like it's spiking here.
I'm trying to adjust right now here.
How about that? Let's talk back now
people?
and see if that sounds a little bit better. Talk to me. It looks like we were a little bit hot on the microphone.
Yeah.
Let's check this right here. Hang on, just stand by, party people. Let's just make sure that we are good here. So check. Yep, we're limited out.
That sounds a million times better. What do we think, people?
Okay, better. Yeah.
Good.
We're somehow, we had a power outage right before we went live. Like the whole place shut down, so it might have just jacked some stuff up. So now the audio is back. Let's just revisit what I was saying without all the distortion and the crappy audio. So essentially what we're doing is just exploring one light portraits, something with minimal gear. I think I only have one light shaping tool if I need it that doesn't come with the A10. That way, once again, you can show that you can make really, really compelling images with minimal gear. So we're gonna do 3 different setups today. We're gonna have one that's a little more poppy, fun, with one light. I'm gonna show you how to do that. I'm sure you saw the live card in starting up the actual live itself. I'm just gonna show you how we created that. And then we're gonna do another shot where it's gonna be a profile shot of Kate with the light coming at her from the side. That way we just kind of get a really cool rim looking light, something a little more contrasty. And then we're just gonna flip around and do a simple silhouette. We'll move the yellow background out of the way, and we'll just use the white background behind us to make a silhouette. Just showing you that it's really, really easy to, once again, make really nice images with just a single light. Not a ton of stuff. You don't need a ton of softboxes, although it's always fun to have light shaping tools that give you the ability to start doing other things. But if you don't have those things, you don't have to have those things to make great images. So, and also, I think people get a little bit afraid of hard light, which they shouldn't, because it's really, really beautiful. It's just the thing that generally tends to get people caught up is shadows. And one of my tips for kind of mitigating those shadows is wherever the light is, as you're just kind of starting to play with hard light, I always tell people, keep your subject's nose pointed towards the direction of the light. That's going to be the way to mitigate some of those shadows down. And then once you start getting a little more comfortable with it, and you can start moving the light around and just playing with it and seeing, how that light and the shadow fall, then you can start, really taking that hard light and crafting. Maybe you do want some harder like shadows on the face from the nose. Maybe you're going for a really tight Rembrandt look with a really sharp triangle on the cheek. So those are things you can play with. But one of my tips for hard light, just keep your subject's nose towards the light, and you can mitigate a lot of the shadows that people associate with hard light not being very flattering. So the first shot we're gonna do, we'll just jump into it. The first shot we're gonna do is the one with the yellow background, just to show you right off the jump. I've already shot that one today. I know everything's good. The other 2 are just ideas I have in my brain that we're gonna play with. The silhouette should be pretty simple. The side profile shot's the one that I'm not 1,000% sure of, but we're just gonna play and have fun and see how you can develop an idea in your brain into the actual shot itself, once again using minimal stuff. The only thing that I'm gonna use modifier wise that doesn't come with the A10 or the A1X or the A1 is the bounce card, and I'm gonna probably wind up using it in this position where the white card is reversed. So I'm using some reduction in light, but this will be for another shot. Or I may also use this 20-degree grid, so we'll see. So just so you know, as the live moves on, we'll probably add these in. But for this shot, we're going just A1 with a connect. So really easy stuff. You could do, like I said, if you're just getting your first light and you want to get something like the off-camera kit, that comes with the A10, comes with a Connect inside of it, you'd be good to go. So what we're gonna do is placement wise, I'm going to, the wide camera, once we go wide, will not see the A10 anymore because it's literally gonna be right next to it. So the reason that I'm backing the A10 up so much is because essentially the inverse square law. I want the background and Kate to be relatively the same exposure. That way she's properly exposed, the background's properly exposed, and the best, and really the way of doing that without lighting the background, without having more than one light, is going to be to get the light source as far away from the subject as you can. That way, when the light hits your subject, it is still falling off much slower to the background, and you have relatively the same exposure on your subject in the background. So get the light further away from your subject if you're trying to light the background and the subject evenly. Also get the subject closer to the background. So light further away from the background, subject closer to the background, and you'll start to even that out. So that's what we're doing. So I'm gonna take this A10. Once again, it's like right next to the wide shot, so that's why you're not gonna see it.
What, your computer up?
Yeah, you can pull the computer up. Yeah, you can pull the computer up. And also I'm gonna raise up the light about, it's probably 6 feet up. It's not too terribly high above Kate's eye level. It's probably what, 6-7 inches above your eye level.
Yeah.
I'm actually gonna bring it down just a touch, maybe about 4 inches above eye level. I don't know what that works out to in centimeters. I apologize. I'm over here. I'm over here with my standard imperial system, the Empire. Let's see. Cool. Let's do this. So, camera settings wise, just so you can see, let's go here so you can see all my camera stuff. So, 1/250th of a second, ISO 160, f8. Pretty basic stuff. This is what we shoot at a lot, just so I have the latitude in. I want to make sure I'm not missing focus because sometimes I'm a dummy and I miss focus. So, I have my. So, mind stepping back closer to the background. Okay, there we go. Perfect. So, and then what you may wind up seeing is there's a chance for shadows to happen. You can get rid of those by kind of just moving the flash around a little bit to mitigate them, or maybe you want the shadows in there. Maybe that's part of the shot that you want. Sorry that I'm, like, my gigantic back is right in front of the camera. I'll try to stay off to the side. So what we're gonna do is, Caitlin's close to the background. We have the light literally, like you guys are here, and the light is right here, literally. So we're probably 10 feet, probably 10 feet.
I forget what these
Yeah, that was 2, 4,
Yeah.
6. Yeah, we're about 8 to 10 feet away from Kate. So, and so I've got my camera set, I've got my Connect set to TTL. My camera meter mode is set to spot just because I want to take a TTL shot since things have been moving. So here we go. So there we go, Caitlin. Chin down a little bit. 3, 2, 1. Oh, I accidentally turned on my D2. How did I do that?
I feel like it happens every time. Right?
I'm just gonna unplug it. Somehow I turned on my D2. I apologize. That was not the plan. Oh, you know what? The power went out, and so my D2 is set to automatically turn back on with power. That's a special setting that you can put it on. And when the power came back on, it turned on the D2. That's what was going on. So there we go. 3, 2, 1. Fantastic. And now I can see my hand in the shot just a little bit. And once again, you just move around. Like, this is mostly this right here down in the corner that you see. That is my camera, and it's just kind of peeking through. Let's see if I can drop this down a touch, and we're gonna shoot up on Caitlin just a little bit, kind of make it look a little more powerful. There we go. Get that honed in, zoomed in as much as we can. There we go. Stagger out your stances just a little bit more into more of a power stance. There we go. 3, 2, 1. Fantastic. And so once again, looking at the shot, let me move this out of the way too so you can kind of see what everything looks like. So because Caitlin is maybe a foot away from the background, and because we have the distance between her and the light, that light's hitting her but falling off slow enough that it's hitting that background, and you're getting a really nice exposure on the background and on Caitlin. So the cool thing about that is, once again, you can light your background and your subject with one flash. Is this something that you can do with a softbox? 100%. The downside to it is it's much, much larger. So whereas one, you could bring the box in closer, especially if you have like a big 4 or 5 foot, and there should be enough light coming around it that you can make it hit the background and be relatively even. But still, once again, if you could back it up some more, with it being such a large source, you'd be able to do the same thing as well. But with, like I said, right out of the box with an A10 and your trigger, you can make a really, really poppy looking shot, something really fun, a really fun fashion look with just your A10 on a light stand and the Kinect. So I think that's kind of fun. Let's see if you have any questions about that. I'm gonna pull up my question box. Let's see. Yeah, cool color on the background. I love it. I just picked it up recently. Let's see. Someone said the audio is still distorted. Are we hitting? We tried to clean it up a little bit. Like I said, with all the things going crazy after the power went out, it's really weird. Let's see.
Should we switch the boom? We could.
I don't necessarily want to switch the boom. Let me just make sure that we're not, my level's not up here.
Yeah, sorry, just one.
Sorry, party peeps. We just want to make sure. We just want to make sure that we're not like blasting your ears out, because that's never the goal.
Yeah. See where our gain is high.
We don't need to make up anything.
No.
We're good there. Okay. Apologize for the sidetrack. That's on the master. Let's go here really quick. Let's go to this. This is what I want to do. So we're good there. Okay, here we go. Let's limit that out. Is that a little bit better, hopefully?
Oh, yeah, that's better.
Okay, cool.
Is that better, friends?
Hopefully we're not distorted anymore. So let's see. So yeah, I love the background. Let's see. Flagstaff in the house. What's up, Carl? How you doing, bud? B2 is saying, where is the love, Chris? The B2 saying, where's the love? I love my B2. The reason I don't talk about it is because we discontinued it. If you want to know where the B2 love is, check this right here. Bop. Right there. There's my B2 love. I'm here with you, Carl. There you go. I love my B2. It's not a current product, so it's not really one of those things that would say, hey, go get yourself a B2, because they're not the easiest thing to get unless you find one on the used market. So I got my B2. So let's see. Cool. Turn down the gain. Yeah, we're not on OBS to turn down the gain there. We had to actually go into the audio mixer and get it turned down. We pulled it down the master, and then we pulled it down the main channel, so we're good. What's up, everybody? Cool. Sweet. So that was it. So once again, the takeaways from the first shot right here: get your subject closer to the background and get your light further away. We didn't use anything other than the A10 on a light stand with the Profoto Connect on top of my camera. I just use TTL mode and spot meter. Everything good?
Yeah, I'm just gonna move that way.
Oh yeah, there's a big flash stand right in the way. So, but we didn't do anything other than having a light about 10 feet away from the subject and the subject about a foot away from the background. Really, really beautiful shot, super even. Just so you know, on the beam spread setup on the A10, I have it set to all the way wide. So that way I could just make sure I was getting even coverage on my subject. Which is the only reason. I could zoom in and get a touch more power out of it, because power settings wise, we were at 9.1, so we still had another stop to play with in case we needed it, but we were fine with the super wide. If we needed to make up some power, we could have zoomed in a little bit more, but we would have given up coverage, and I didn't want to give that up. So, and we also could have, adjusted the camera settings like the ISO a little bit to get some of that back as well. Cool. So let's do the second shot. So we're gonna go white background, so I'm gonna get rid of the yellow. Essentially what we're doing here is, it's going to be a side profile shot of Kate. Like I said, I haven't tested this yet, so this is just an idea that I had, but I think it'll be pretty neat. And we'll just kind of toy around with it with the 20-degree grid and with the bounce card, and see if we can keep the light off the background for the most part and on Kate. There we go. Thank you. Oh, there we go. I always do this thing where I cone out the background. Yeah, I just got this this yellow color. I forget what it's called. It's really fun though. It's on that box over there. But yeah, I like really bright colors of seamless. It's really fun stuff. So I'm gonna move my A10 over here. Cool. So turn profile, Caitlin. So this way. I think this way. I think this is the way I want to go. And take a step this way. Cool, there we go. Just gonna get this light right on you, and then I am actually gonna zoom it in tighter this time and bring it down just a skosh. And just, we're gonna play around with it and see if we're getting what we want. So I know that my camera settings have me in a way that, I'm gonna try to stay out of y'all's way here. Take a tiny step this way, Caitlin. Okay?
More?
Yeah, you're fine right there. So maybe go put your, yeah, that way. Let's see, 3, 2, 1. Cool, it's a little overexposed. Let me see where I am power-wise. There's a 8.4. So let's go in and I'm gonna do this
Not wearing the most
it's fine.
warm, flattering thing.
Cool. Just get the TTL shot right. Here we go with Caitlin. Just let the shirt drape, it's fine. 3, 2, 1. So cool, that actually looks kind of fun. There's probably a touch more light hitting the background than I'd like to hit. Let's see. There's a little bit more light hitting the background than I would want to. So what we're gonna do first, before I go to the grid, because I think I can get rid of this with just my bounce card. So essentially what we're doing is I've taken the bounce card when you build it. Let's see, we're on the wide shot. Yeah. So here, oh, we're going tight shot? Oh no, we're on the wide shot. Oh, gotcha, we're there. So I'm gonna get up close so you can see what I'm doing. So in the little box that I am right here, so usually when you build the bounce card, you build it with the white card forward. Just take it out, flip it backwards, and this way it kind of acts like a little magnetic flag. I like doing this. My buddy Cliff makes fun of me for it all the time. All the time. He thinks I'm insane. I think it works great. So we're gonna see what happens. We're gonna see if this does what I want it to do right here. I'm hoping that it does. So here we go, Kate. I think I'm gonna go a little bit tighter on the shot too. So up here. 3, 2, 1. Yeah, it did exactly what I wanted it to. Suck it, Cliff. Look at that background. So that's kind of cool. It's a profile shot. It's really contrasty and cool. I was able to keep the background dark. I'm gonna shoot a little bit wider. There we go. Kick the elbow back a little bit more just so there's some, drop your right hand down. Yeah. 3, 2, 1. Yeah, the bounce card did a great job of keeping the excess light off the background. Very, very cool. So easy shot that you can do, and you can play with it. You could change wardrobe up to maybe you're going for more of like a bodyscape look. You could change up the wardrobe and do something there as well. Very, very cool stuff. So I'm gonna take the same shot. Let's try it with just the 20-degree grid and see if we get something similar with just using the bounce card. Let's see. I'm not gonna change any settings, leave the camera just the way that it was, and see what happens at 20 degrees with the grid. So here we go. 3, 2, 1. So the 20-degree grid's definitely a lot tighter than using it with the bounce card. Let me pull up side by side. Come on, camera, get on the tripod. Don't fight. There we go. Don't fight me. Oh, you're good, Caitlin. You don't have to stand there.
Okay.
Okay, sweet. So here you go, just so you can see the difference between coverage with the bounce card and coverage with the grid. So the bounce card, obviously we're getting a little more coverage across the body because we're not focusing that light so much. We're really, we focused it with the zoom of the head, but it's still using all the reflector, whereas the grid, it's obviously getting focused a lot more. Relatively similar. If you wanted to stay tight on the shot, the grid does a great job too. But once again, I just used the bounce card reversed. So you can see this up here. I just used the bounce card reversed so that it acts more like a flag and none of the light bounces forward. You know what? I wonder, can we try one more time, Caitlin? I just want to see what would happen if we did go with the white card forward. Because it's still acting like a flag, it's just kicking more light towards the camera. Yeah, it's just kicking more light towards the camera. Sweet. So we're just gonna go forward, OG style with the bounce card, take the grid off, and just see what happens. Do you remember where you're standing?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Like right here.
So go bounce card here. I don't suspect that it's, now that I'm looking at it, I don't suspect it to be too terribly different. But let's see if it kicks more light around the room. So here we go. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1, chin down a little bit. Cool. Yeah, the bounce card, even forward, still kept light off. I guess because it's not going up in the air, it's shooting back towards the camera. It's not going to be an issue. Whereas in my brain, let me move this over here a little bit more. In my brain, I was thinking that there could be an issue just behind the light bouncing around the room a little bit more. But honestly, the distance from here back to a wall where it could bounce back is not going to do anything. Let's see. So cool. So once again, shot there with right here with the bounce card, just keeping the background dark, and then right here is with the 20-degree grid. Background's relatively similar. Looks like the grid was able to keep the background a little bit darker just because it was more focused, but you could play with it a little bit more and get there. So I think that's kind of cool. So that's a second look with one light and honestly the bounce card that came with the flash. So for the last shot, I'm going to take this off the light stand because I think actually I might be able to hide it behind Kate. Let's see what happens. It's a pretty tall light stand. And we're going to go really, really wide on the background or on the light. This, I might actually be a touch tall with this. Let's see. Let me get a shorter stand if I have one ready to rock. I think this will be fine. This one right here will be fine. I just want to get it just a little bit lower. I like my rolly stands just because it's easy to move stuff around, but sometimes it doesn't work out. I think these are the exact same height. I'll probably drop the center column down a little bit. Oh, you know, it's not a terrible idea either if I want to hide it. Let's rock this thing back, and I can just turn the head sideways. So it might peek out behind you, but we'll see what happens.
So I'm right here?
Yeah, you're gonna try to stand in front of it. See, if I had I don't know where I have a little tiny Matthews stand. You know what? The foot, that's a good call. The foot on an apple box, that's a great call. Let's get the little foot and put it on an apple box. That's the move. So I have a little Matthews stand that I travel with. It's called the Murph. Kind of cool. But I don't know where I've put it. I've been using my big stand so much, I haven't been traveling as much. So let's go here. So this is a little foot, once again, that just came with the flash itself. And don't worry, I'm gonna come back and look at your questions here in just a second. We're just moving through the shots, and then we will continue on. Let's go. I'm gonna try to get the light a little bit further away from the background just to get a little more spread. So we're probably 3 or 4 feet from the background. I'm gonna have Kate right here, probably a foot or 2 from the light, and then I'm gonna back up some, just because that's what I'm gonna do. So.
I still.
No, you can face forward. Yeah, you don't have to be profile. You can face forward. So hopefully, all right, cool. There we go. Get out of the shot there. So give me a look off to your. There we go. To your left side. There we go. 3. So cool. So that's not too shabby. I want to power up some without flaring. We are super wide on that. Cool. So what we're going to do is we're going to power up now. Now that I think about it, actually, that wasn't even a TTL shot. That was just me in manual mode from the shot before. So it went up two or three stops. I think it was at 7. Now I'm at 9. So let's see where we're at now. Here we go. You can bring your nose back towards me a little bit. There we go. 3, 2, 1. Cool. So it's starting to bounce around the room a lot just because the power is starting to climb up. So I can see, actually, I wonder if some of it's the overhead lights too, kind of shining down on Kate. But let's see if we can aim the flash down a little bit more. I have it pointed up a little bit to try to get it a little bit higher, but let's see what happens if we point it down. Cool. Three, 2, 1. It's better. So the only downside to something like using it with a one light is that depending on where you can position the flash, it can gradiate out. If you could back it up a little bit more or get a little bit further away from the background, it's going to be a little smoother. Let's try that. Let's go up to 10 full power on this thing. and I'm going to bring Caitlin a little bit more forward. So now we're about 5 or 6 feet from the background. There we go. We're at full power, so let's try this one more time, Kate, right there. And once again, this is just kind of exploring what you can do with just one light. Pretty fun stuff. Chin down a little bit. So there you go. So the power, we've gotten the light away from the background a little bit. It's starting to power up. So we're at full power there, about 6 feet from the background, and we're starting to get some pretty good coverage. This gradiates a little bit towards the edge. It's one of the downsides to using a single light when you're going to a silhouette, but the cool thing is that you can still do it. I think it's just like with anything that you have, it's going to be playing around with it to find out what its limitations are and see how far you can actually push the flash. The fact that you can easily move through a bunch of different looks with your flash, I think it's actually kind of cool. So 3 very, very different looks. And once again, we can always play around with more poses and stuff like that and kind of work through and finesse it. But the point of this was just to show you that you don't need a lot of stuff to start making cool images. You just don't. The most that we used, and it was just a test, was the 20-degree grid, which a grid's always cool to have. It just takes the light and focuses a little bit more. But everything that we were talking about comes inside of the location kit for, or not the location kit, the off-camera kit for an A10 or an A1X off-camera kit. So being able to make cool images just with the box that you just picked up is pretty dynamite. Let me see if you have any questions. Let's see. Flagstaff, Switzerland in the house. What's up? Poland, Jaspreet. Hey, dude. Let's see. Canada. What's up, Canada? Pretty harsh shadows. Well, I don't actually think the shadows are harsh at all. I think they look nice. They are hard light shadows. They are very well defined, but I don't think those shadows are harsh at all. I think when I think harsh shadows, I think of like shadows like all over the place, like a nose like going this direction or something like that, or like if you have the light position way too high and the nose shadow starts coming down past the lips and going into the chin area. That's what I think of harsh shadows. I don't think shadows are bad. It's just controlling them. So let's see. What about a reflector? Let's see. Pine, hey, what about a reflector on a B10? What do you mean? What are you asking for on the reflector, Carl? Expand on it just a touch for me. What's up, everybody? Oh, who's chatting on the Profoto thing? That would be Kate. Kate is talking back to you all in the chat. Also, she has. Yeah, you're talking to Kate. So she has the same chat up that I have, and she's just talking back to you. So. She's cooler than I am, so you can talk to her if you'd like. Let's see, on the silhouette, what's your focus point? So my focus point is right on Caitlin. So I had it right on her nose, right on her face. I just tapped the screen and put the focus point right where I want it. But yeah, the focus point's on her. And it's f8, so she should be pretty good focus. Let's see. I can see, and you can do this with most mirrorless cameras. If you're not using a mirrorless camera, you can actually turn off exposure preview. I don't know if this has anything to do with what you're asking, but can you go to the touch shot? So I can turn off exposure preview. So like if I want to see what the exposure looks like, you see the screen is totally black, but I can turn that off, and then it just acts like a mirror. So I guess it overdrives the screen. So that's not what you would normally see is just the black screen if I just left it on what the exposure is supposed to look like, the exposure preview. So cool. Let's see. What's up, Mexico City in the house? Just the look of the B10 with the zoom or any reflector. Yeah, I mean, you could do any of this stuff with a B10 and a reflector. I think the idea behind this was just something as simple as the A10. I mean, the cool thing about moving into, and I guess really now that we have the OCF adapter for the A10, you have some more possibilities in what you could do. Like if I needed, so for the first shot, for example, like if I wasn't getting the coverage that I wanted, let's go, yeah, you're welcome. If I wasn't getting the coverage that I wanted, as far as like the evenness of the background, you could always pair an A10 with like the OCF adapter and put a magnum reflector into it and get 2 more stops of light output. So if you need that, you have those light shaping abilities, or if you want to put your A10 into a softbox for more of a softer look, you have those options. Today was really just more about exploring one light shots with hard light sources, and honestly, the hardest light source that you can get with the A10 is the A10 itself, because the head's 70 millimeters as opposed to the 100 millimeters of normal like B2s, B10s, B1s, and stuff like that. So in order to get the shadows tighter, we want to get that light source smaller in relationship to the subject, and with that you can't beat the head of the B10 by itself. That being said, once again, if I needed the light output, you absolutely go with a bigger flash, or you could go with a reflector that's a lot more efficient, that's going to give you a touch more output all day long. So if that's what you were asking, Carl, hopefully I hit that. If not, I totally missed it. Let's see. Let's see. I'm trying to see if I'm missing anything. What color is the background in the middle picture? It's just a white background. Hold on, let me pull it back up. So we had that one, and this last silhouette here. So this right here is just the same white background, but because we're keeping the light off of it completely, it'll just go gray or black depending on how you have it set up. It just has to do with pointing the light at it. There's nothing getting to it, then you're not gonna see it, and it's just gonna go to black. It's one of the cool things too about shooting white is you can shoot it as a white background, or you can shoot it as a gray, or depending on how much light you can keep off of it, you can turn it black. So I think that's kind of dope. Let's see. Any other questions before I sign up out of here? Let's see. For high school seniors, one with the A1X and the 2-foot octa, it's a good move. I really do like the OCF adapter. I've been shooting a whole lot more hard light stuff lately personally, but that 2-foot octa with the OCF adapter is a sweet move. Let's see. Cool. Awesome. So this is pretty fun. Once again, we're going to keep exploring more 1-light portraits, 2-light portraits, 3-light, and we'll just expand on it. So next week we're going to be coming back at you with 1-light portraits, but we're going to be using soft modifiers and just kind of being creative with some of the stuff that we have, like strip boxes and octaboxes and stuff like that, and just showing you different looks that you can do with soft lights and one single light source. And then we'll build from there. We'll go to 2 lights, we'll go to 3 lights and stuff like that. And that way you can see what the possibilities are with the things that you have or things that you're aspiring to have if you're looking for a certain type of look. If there's anything in particular that you want to see, like any types of looks with one of those, like I said, with a 1-light softbox or with 2 lights or 3 lights, if you have like an example image that maybe you want me to try to show you how to recreate, send me a message, drop it into the comment section, let us know, and we'll add that into the part of the live and kind of show you how we would break that down and set that up. So very, very cool. Thank you all so much for hanging out with us this week. We had a whole bunch of stuff. We did our Instagram live. We were live yesterday with Mira and Tilda, and today we're doing our Facebook live, which is super fun. So next week we'll be back again. Once again, 1-light portraits with soft modifiers. So if you have any questions in the meantime, if you need to reach out to me, you can reach out to me personally, my Facebook or my Instagram or whatever, or just hit us up over here at Profoto, and we'll be happy to talk to you about whatever you want to talk about. In the meantime, have an awesome weekend. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, and we'll see you next time. Peace out.